how to become the most dateable version of you. I feel like in society these days that we are inundated with dating advice. Yes, I've written a book, I've done a podcast on it, but many others have as well. There are so many tips and tricks and things that I feel that you need to consider. And it can feel very overwhelming, especially when we look at how our dating culture is continually changing, especially with COVID at the moment. It's exactly what we're seeing. We've now gone predominantly all online, and people are wondering, how do they get through this new normal? So I think what's really important is to bring it back to being the most dateable version of you, because sometimes that's all you can really do. First of all, you need to accept that this is an area where there is going to be rejection. And maybe instead of rejection, we can refer to it as just not quite matching up or a bit of a mismatch. Not everyone is going to be your cup of tea, and vice versa. It's got nothing to do with actually rejecting you. It's just because there may not be a spark. There might not be similar interests and values, and we need to accept that when dating. But besides that, what's really important is to actually look at where there can be a connection. And that's where it's really important to be the most dateable version of you. We all suffer from nerves and anxiety, and we all have our fears, but sometimes they can get so much in the way that we're unable to connect based on the real essence of who we are. That is the most important thing when dating. Someone needs to be able to judge you on you. Who are you? What makes you tick? What are your passions? What are your vulnerabilities? We all tend to have this wall up, and I get it. Dating can be scary, and there may be a past history of some not so nice and unpleasant experiences. So the wall can go up, but when that wall goes up, in order to protect yourself, what it does is actually stop someone from getting to know you and who you are all about. So this is why it's important to be the most dateable version of you. Being the most dateable version of you is working out how to decrease all that noise around you, how to bring that wall down so someone is able to see who you really are. It's no good in being able to have all these tips and tricks unless you're really able to connect with somebody based on you. So some of the things that I just want to quickly go through that will help you is finding ways to decrease anxiety and nerves on dates. So that might be meditating before a date, listening to music, coming up with some little techniques that you find make you feel better. Reading poetry is something that I always like to tell people what to do. It just slows down their voice and slows down their thoughts so they're able to talk from a place of calmness instead of motor mouthing when they're really nervous. Also, too, having some subjects that you find really easy to talk about in your back pocket. So if you're on a date, things start getting a little bit awkward, there's those silent moments, you're not really sure how this is going, making sure that there are 3 subjects that not only allow you to talk about something you're passionate about, but they might also to allow you to open up and be a bit vulnerable too. 3 things, stuff that you know that you can weave into a conversation. But it's also really important that you sit down and talk with somebody, and I like to call this somebody your cheerleader, someone in your life who knows really you and who you are, and talk about your dating life with them. Discuss with them maybe some of the things that they see in you that they think are really amazing qualities and how to bring those out. Because if you are doubting yourself or you're full of fears, that can affect how you see yourself. So that might be when you are choosing to do a dating profile, or even when you're on a date. If you're struggling with your sense of self-worth, that may come out in how you communicate with someone else about you. So sit down with that person that's your cheerleader, that one person who is really behind you, who wants you to find love, who wants you to get out there because they believe in who you are. Talk to them about what they find appealing about you. What are your best qualities? It may be really useful to listen to somebody else and hear the amazing qualities that you have to give to somebody else, and also to remind yourself of what those are and what is good about you. Instead of focusing on what you're nervous about and what you're fearful of and all the things that you are worried about that they're going to see and not like in you, let's focus for a moment on the things that they are going to see in you and think, wow, those are amazing qualities. But remember, in order for that other person to see them, you need to let those qualities shine. And that is when you become the most dateable version of you.